Stephenn William Hawking was born in Oxford on January 8, 1942 to Frank and Isabel Eileen Hawking. His mother was born into a family of doctors in Glasgow, Scotland. His wealthy father, William Walker, overextended himself by buying farmland and then went bankrupt in the Great Agricultural Depression during the early 20th century. His wealthy grandfather saved their family from financial ruin by opening a school in their home. Despite their family's financial constraints, both parents attended the University of Oxford, where Frank read medicine and Isabel read philosophy, politics, and economics. She worked as a secretary for a medical research institute while he was a medical researcher. In 1950, when Stephen Hawking's father became head of the Division of Parasitology at the National Institute for Medical Research in London, the family moved to St Albans, Hertfordshire. The family was considered highly intelligent and somewhat eccentric. During meals, each person silently read a book. They lived a frugal existence in a large house with poor maintenance and traveled in a converted taxicab during one of his father's frequent absences working in Africa. During this period, they visited Beryl and Robert Graves when his mother's friend visited Majorca with her husband. In September 1952, Hawking attended St Albans School, one of Britain's independent secondary schools. He passed the 11+ exam early and went on to attend Radlett School, which was also a fee-paying independent school. The family placed a high value on education. His father wanted him to attend Westminster School, but the 13-year-old Hawking was ill on the day of the scholarship examination. His family could not afford the school fees without financial aid from a scholarship, so he remained at St Albans School. He later blamed the school's progressive methods for his failure to learn to read while at the school. In 1963, Stephen Hawking was awarded a physics research fellowship at Cambridge University. He gained his doctorate in theoretical astronomy from the University of Cambridge in 1966 and later taught at the university as a Fellow of Trinity Hall. In the early 1960s, he contracted amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, an incurable degenerative neuromuscular disease that progressively disabled him. He continued working despite this disability and eventually became a professor at Cambridge. Theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking worked primarily in the field of general relativity and particularly on the physics of black holes. In 1971, he suggested that many black holes, objects with masses as great as 1 billion tons but occupying only the space of a proton, might be formed following the Big Bang. Many black holes are unique in that their immense mass and gravity require them to be ruled by the laws of relativity. In 1974, Hawking proposed that black holes emit subatomic particles until they exhaust their energy and finally explode. His work greatly spurred efforts to theoretically delineate properties of black holes, objects about which it was previously thought that nothing could be known. The British physicist Stephen Hawking was recognised his country's government and fellow scientists for his contributions to science. In 1974, he became one of the youngest Fellows of the Royal Society. 2 years later, he was appointed to the Lucasian Professorship at Cambridge University. In 1979, he became a member of Cambridge's Faculty of Mathematics and Physics, a post once held by Isaac Newton. He was knighted in 1982 and made a Companion of Honour in 1989. 2 years later, the same year that he won a Copley Medal from England's oldest scientific organisation, he accepted a visiting research chair at the Perimeter Institute for Theoretical Physics in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. His career spanned 3 decades. He published A Brief History of Time, From the Big Bang to Black Holes, 1988, The Universe in a Nutshell, 2001, A Briefer History of Time, 2005, and The Grand Design, 2010, co-authored with Leonard Mlodinow. His final paper, titled A Smooth Exit from Eternal Inflation, was published in the Journal of High Energy Physics. It disputes the idea that the universe will continue to expand after it becomes unwieldy under its weight. Stephen Hawking, the renowned physicist, died at his home in Cambridge on March 14, 2018 at the age of 76.